Introspection is the process, examining over self. That is introspection. Inner search, finding who am I, how I am working, how the mind is working, what are the things I have, all about self, even the characters so far achieved. So this is the introspection. Without introspection, you cannot understand yourself. The enlightenment of the consciousness has to come only by introspection. When you focus our attention on anything outward, our mind is limited with volume, force, time, distance. So that becomes one kind of experience, an imprint. It is not in the case of introspection. Introspection is when you see the things, what happens within you, what happens within your consciousness, what happens with the soul, what happens with the body, what happens in the future. All will be understood only by introspection. So, introspection is a process to understand the consciousness with its full potentials, values, existence and functions, results. All about the consciousness. The consciousness in us is working in 3 levels. One level is peripheral consciousness. When we perceive anything through the senses, our consciousness gets induction with it. As it is, we are taking shape and image through the touch, sight, sound sense, or nose, tongue. We are getting induction with other thing. So we understand the relationship between our consciousness and the thing. And the working order in both. How both are getting a change in this process. So introspection helps in this way to understand everything. Getting imprint is one thing. It is mechanical. Even though it is done by the consciousness, but it is mechanical. When you see the eyes, the structure of the eyes, molecular structure of the eyes are working in such a way to convert our human magnetism into light. Reflect on the thing, then you are getting the shape, and as far as you understood the character of the thing so far, that becomes character, image. So in this way, shape and image both are coming into being whenever you perceive anything. So the same shape is imprinted in you, in your life force. Where? In the consciousness, in the static state. So the same consciousness, when it extends outside, it uses its own magnetic force and gets induction with other thing and converts the magnetism into light, touch, pressure, smell, taste. So we are experiencing. So introspection will make us understand all about the mind first. Then all about the perceiving processes. When we perceive anything, what happens? How we are characterized with every perception. So then the 3 points of our consciousness is to be understood. And the peripheral function is, when you perceive anything, you are taking shape and image. According to that, we are converting our energy into pressure, light, smell, taste, so on. So I touch here. Then by touch, my magnetic force is being connected with this thing. So a portion of my magnetic force is getting out through this touch. How much is going? How much is converted into pressure there? I understand. This is the perception by touch. Similarly by sight, nose, eyes, ears. So every perception is giving a change in our personality. Every perception is imprinted by arranging ourselves into line of action by the magnetic flow. Here you have to understand again and again the body itself, life force, magnetic force, consciousness. All activities are being done only within the four. When we come out, even then, these four are working in such a way. So these all imprints and reflection, feeling of the pain, pleasure, these all are called peripheral consciousness, mind. Whatever you do by the mind, that is imprinted, reflecting. So far, from the starting of life up to now, whatever you have done, all are imprinted. Even now you can remember and take out. Or automatically, according to the opportunity, available opportunity, or the adjustment of the waves by some other force, the same thought will come, same imprint will reflect as thought force, or sometime urge of action. So, where it is imprinted, all the imprints are stored. That is only the life force. So that is the second point or middle point of consciousness. From the peripheral, this is the central point. Then what is the origin? Where it is stored? That is life force. Who stores? Consciousness. We cannot separate consciousness and life force. So where from the life force started or consciousness started? When you understand this origin, origin is almighty, unified force, universal force, the static state, whatever the name is given, that is for that. So this is the first point, infinite state. From the infinite state, final state is our life force. There it is called spirit. In the projection, it is mind. So our consciousness is working in 3 stages. But we always could understand only the peripheral stage. We never go inside. Only the yogis. Only in the time of meditation you are going. When you practice and practice, that will be understood. All the experiences in life, pain and pleasure, peace and happiness, all are coming only by the mind. Really, we are the mind. That means the consciousness. When we understand that is self-realization, realization of truth, enlightenment of the consciousness, there a man becomes perfect up to the standard of the potential. Now let us understand all about the thought force. We are sometimes thinking, why our mind goes away? Why this thought comes? So far we are thinking body is self. Therefore, we think the mind goes away. If you understand mind is self, consciousness self, and the soul life force is the working station, the body becomes vehicle. So body is only the vehicle. The same life force has taken many bodies like this, thrown away. Then it is here. It may enter into several bodies later on. That is the life force. That is the self. So within the self, the characterizing process, phenomenon, that is consciousness. Now, we are going to think about our thought process, how the thought comes into being. This is the first introspection, analysis of thought, understanding all about the thought. When the thought comes, how it comes. Already we have experienced by perception, by feeling. Then it reflects, that's all. That is called thought. Without imprint previously, without previous experience, there is no thought. So what is imprinted, that reflects. It takes the same shape or action or imagination. That is the thought. Now let us understand what is the thought. The thought is called mind. Not only thought, it is only one part of function is the thought. Many functions are going on. Let us understand. For any reason, there is a feeling of the pain in the body. The pain is a short circuit of our personal magnetism in particular place by the disturbance of the polarity of the cells. A magnetic force is flowing all through the body to make every cell function normally, regularly, with its work. It is flowing always to make the magnetism flow easily, regularly. All the cells should be arranged in row with polarity. Otherwise, the magnetism will not go. By the flow of magnetism, already the cells are arranged in rows with polarity. So it is going on. In any reason, the polarity is disturbed. So the flow is diverted or obstructed. And the magnetism is obstructed in any place in our body, that becomes more intensity at that point. It is the function of the cells to convert the magnetism into electricity and do all function within. Mechanical, electrical, chemical, all the functions are done only by converting our magnetism into electricity and chemicals. The cells are having the capacity of converting the magnetism. So, wherever our magnetism is stagnated, all around the magnetic flow, the cells are converting. When it is stagnated already, it is more. So the conversion becomes more abnormal than the tolerable limit of the cells or absorbing capacity of the cells. So instead of giving normal function, it disturbs the function or burns out the cells and its arrangement. So that is the uncomfortable feeling for the consciousness. The consciousness from the life force extends all through the body. So wherever there is such a disturbance, the consciousness feels uncomfortable. That is called pain. Pain is only the short circuit. When the magnetic force is converted wrongly by disturbance of the polarity of the cell, That is the pain. More is the disturbance, more intensity is the pain. Less is the short circuit, less is the pain. So pain, disease and death all are caused only by the short circuit of our own personal magnet. So in this way, by our own wrong action or by other force outside, some part of ourselves may get disturbed. By the disturbance, we are feeling pain. Feeling of the pain is the first extension of consciousness into mind. That is the first psychic extension. After feeling of the pain, it wants to get rid of. So, to get rid of the pain, to make the flow normally, it needs some action, something, some commodity. That is called a need. The need arises only from the feeling. So feeling is the first extension. The second psychic extension of the consciousness is need. When the need comes into being, the body cells are getting ready to get it. That is called effort or zeal. Feeling, need, effort. One after other. One from other. When the effort is full, then the work starts. Action comes. From the action, a result comes. The result may be relieving from the pain or increase or change in the feeling. So that is the result. When the result is enjoyable, we enjoy. Otherwise we suffer. That is the experience. That is enjoyment, then experience. Enjoyment and suffering is the momentary. But after that, enjoyment or suffering, after getting imprint, that becomes experience. It may remain forever. From the experience, whenever you get the same need, zeal, action, this experience makes research. I dealt with such and such a thing in such and such a way. I got this and that result. I don't want it. I have to reduce. I have to increase. So research. After research, let's understand some formula, realization. How to do it, what to do it, how much to do it. Realization. Then conclusion. With all these step by step development of consciousness into psychic function, a conclusion comes with every experience in our life. So there are 10 stages of the psychic extension. Feeling, need, zeal, action, result, enjoyment, experience, research, realization and conclusion. All these 10 stages of psychic extension of the consciousness is totally called as mind. Now you can understand what is mind. Mind is the extension of the soul, extended activities of soul or extended activities of consciousness. This is mind. So once through the mind, whatever you do, that is, you are focusing or localizing the function of your magnetic force in particular place, particular way. That is the mental activities. Suppose you are thinking of your hand, you are focusing your mind at that point. That is, wherever the mind is focused, that is the exhausting nozzle or the biomagnetic field in our body. So there, the intensity of magnetism automatically happens because focusing of our mind. There, the life force which is circulating all through the body also gets intensified in that part. That becomes a more experience. So in this way, when you see other outside, you are focusing your biomagnetic field on that part. A link comes in between you and the thing what you are seeing. So whatever the affection the magnetic field gets in the body, every action, every clash, every reflection, every refraction becomes imprint in our soul particle. So in this way, from the birth up to now, whatever we have done, all are there. It may reflect according to the opportunity available, environmental condition, or need, or your own imagination or need, you can refer, bring into memory. This is the function of the consciousness. Now let us understand the thought force. Whatever you have done already, that is imprinted, that is reflecting, that is thought. For example, yesterday you wanted to eat food because of the hungry. Where you ate the food? What you ate? Now, today we are getting the same hunger. We think of the food. We think of the place. We think of the action. How? Yesterday when we got the feeling of the hunger, what we have done, all are imprinted there. So again, it reflects. So, already what we have managed, balanced our feelings, the same comes into being again and again, such a feeling comes. So, thought is not coming without any base. It is our own action, our own character, our own achievement. So, all the thoughts, if you want to analyze, there are 6 roots for all the thoughts. By the force of need, a thought may arise. Action may follow. By the force of habit, a thought may arise. Action may follow. By the force of environmental condition, a thought may arise. Action may follow. By the force of other man's imposition of the thought, a thought may arise, action may follow. By the force of hereditary imprints, some thought may arise, action may follow. By the divinity, a thought may arise, action may follow. There are altogether 6 roots of all the thoughts what we get. When we understand the root, then we have to analyze. If I go in action with a thought, what will happen? How to do the action? How much? In what way? There, the responsibility comes into being. That is if we follow such a responsibility, that is the moral behavior. That is the behavior. Now let us think about the examples. First root is the thoughts arising by the force of needs. Suppose you get hungry, you are thinking of eating food. Because already whenever you got the same feeling of appetite, you ate the food and balanced it. Therefore, when there is hunger, you think of eating the food. So, when you think of eating the food, then you understand what is the root of the thought of eating food. When you feel hungry, oh, this is by the force of need, I am thinking of eating food. You think of eating the food, but there is no appetite. Without appetite, you are thinking of eating something. How it is coming? There, it is habit. You have seen the time is showing 1 o'clock in the midday. You used to eat food at 1 o'clock every day. It has become habit. When you see the clock showing 1 o'clock, oh, I have to eat food. There may be appetite or not, but because of seeing the clock, thinking of eating food, that is under the force of habit. It may join with a real need also, but seeing the clock and getting the thought, that is habit. You are driving the car on the road. You are seeing a restaurant. You think of drinking something, eating something. Whenever you pass the road, because of the good food, you used to take food or drink there, it has become habit. So even though you don't need anything, when you see the restaurant on the way, you are thinking of going there and eating or drinking. This is by the habit. Under the force of habit, the thought comes. How the thoughts are arising? By the force of environmental condition. Now we are remember and practice this. It seems to be good. He gets the idea or thought, desire. How the thought comes? This is only by the environmental condition. By the force of environmental condition, his thought is arising to do the same. So, in this way, there are many thoughts arising in us, and we are acting. And the fourth is imposition of other man's thought. Without need, we are doing many things only by the imposition of other thoughts. For example, you go to the market with a list to purchase several things. But on the way you meet some person selling something, say a cloth, beautiful cloth. When you see it, you inquire the price. It is very attractive, or purchase. After purchasing, you go to the market and think, why I purchased this? I have got so many cloth like this, 27. There is no place to keep all of them. What to do with this? Why I purchased? Why I purchased? I should not have done. Why it comes? The person who designed has put his thought. This will attract the people more when they see. So they will purchase. This thought is given there. So when you see that, the same reflection comes in you. So you are attracted, you are purchasing. Really it is not your thought. It is not your need. The thought is imposed by some other person. Then you are purchasing. When he has gone, and you remain, you think, why I purchased? why I purchased. This way, unnecessarily, we are purchasing many things, they become burden on our life. Not only this. Suppose you take, for instance, the smoking habit. Nook and corner of the world, the smoking is well spread. How it came? Is there a need for it? Is there any benefit for it? Benefit of it? No. Even then, why? Just somehow a man started smoking. He got this habit by doing several times. Then he introduced to other person. He got it. Now it spread in that way. Nobody in the world who started smoking with a need or his own desire or by his own money, the smoke was not started. All people got this habit only by free inauguration by friends. You take it, it is very enthusiastic. Just have a smoke, then start it. Then it becomes habit. So this is purely imposition of other people, others' mind. In this way, we are having many habits which are not at all necessary for our life, but becoming burden and habit. And later on, the ill effects also comes to the body and mind. This is imposition of other thoughts. Then there are some thoughts arising rarely, sometimes mainly, from the hereditary imprint, according to the karmas done by parents, or from their parents. In this way, if you understand the hereditary imprints, you have to pass millions of generations. Whatever the actions and experiences they have done, all are imprinted. Sometimes it will start as a new thought from you. It is not concerned with your need or habit, but only from the imprint. So such thoughts are coming from the force of imprints of hereditary quality. Then divinity. In our life, habit and experiences both are balancing. Until the willpower gets stronger and stronger, only habits will make our will slave. So habits only will be there. But experience is every action we are enjoying the result, suffering from the result. So there, this is good, this is bad, we should not do it, we should do it, like that we are getting. That is the wisdom. So wisdom increases, but no willpower. So the willpower is taken by the habit. There we are struggling from in between the wisdom and habit. So when we give more concentration, dedication on the experiences, no, I have to lead the life in this way only. So when the experience gets more stronger and stronger, awareness of understanding will increase, develop. that a wisdom develops. There, what I am doing, this is unnecessary. I have to give it up. I have to change my activities. Why I came to the world? What I am doing? Where I am going to go? All these thought comes because of the wisdom. The realities of life takes its own shape. Without forgetting experiences and also getting intoxication with the sensory perceptions, so the wisdom stands. In that point, you get higher knowledge of understanding the truth, planning the life, doing the proper action, getting the result, enjoying peace and pleasure. This is the divine. Under the force of the divine, automatically, timely, this change comes into being. Enlightenment comes into being. This enlightenment automatically from one person come, or by imposition of other person also may come, as other imposition of thoughts in the bad habit, good habit, or even divine thoughts may come. So there are 6 roots for all the thoughts what we are getting. Under the force of need, a thought may arise. Under the force of habit, a thought may arise. Under the force of environmental condition, a thought may arise. Under the force of other man's imposition of the thought, a thought may arise. Under the force of hereditary imprints, a thought may arise. Under the force of divinity, a thought may arise. So, when we think of the thought, where it is coming from, we will clearly understand within no time. When we understand the root of thought, then we have to put another thought. If I go in action with the thought, what will happen? Is it right or wrong? Whether I have to go in action or eliminate the thought itself by strong willpower. The responsibility comes into being. So there, suppose by habit we are thinking of eating food. 1 o'clock has come, we have to take lunch. But when you don't feel hunger, you are thinking, if I eat the food, what will happen? I will get indigestion. No, let me fast for one time. I will take evening the same food. You are postponing the action. So you are all right. Unless you introspect yourself, find where the thought comes from, then the decision, right decision taken, your action will not be good. Therefore, whenever the thought comes, you catch hold of the thought. Find what is the root of the thought. How it comes. Oh, this way, that way, that way. What I have to do. Then plan and do it. If you practice for some time, always, whenever any thought comes, never will start doing without filtration of the thought, whether it is good or bad and how, like that. So when we do that introspection and moralize our thoughts to bring into action, then we have to face the consequential results. So if we want to live according to the need and necessity and knowledge, we have to do the introspection over the thought. So the 6 roots of the thought should be first understood. And whenever a thought comes, you have to catch hold of the thought and understand where it is coming from. Then you decide whether it is to be followed in action or not. Do it accordingly. If you sit for 15 minutes, 10 minutes in a day, just what are the thoughts coming? when you sit to analyze the thought for 1 minute at least, you will have no thought. Because your thought itself is searching for the thought. Therefore, it creates a kind of vibration, frequency. So it cannot take shape or image. When you forget, then automatically a thought will come. Then you catch hold of the thought, where it is coming from. For example, you are having worried thought about your mother who is sick in the hospital. It is worrying. Just why the thought comes so strongly? You analyze. This is because mother is related to me bodily and mentally, in both. So she may be thinking, I have to do something. She may be need something. So that thought is now reflecting in me. I am getting. So as a son, as a daughter, what I should do? Now you will understand what you should do, what you could do. Then take a decision, do it. When you take a decision, then the worry or strong thought or suffering over the thought will become less. Whatever you do, that will be the right action. Otherwise, it will go on slipping, and then that become a burden and worry or too much tension. We can avoid all this by analysis of thought. So first, the spiritual practice after meditation, analysis of thought is the first introspection. When you come to this point and get the experience for 2 or 3 days, you will understand many secrets of your own mind, many secrets of your personality. How much you are understanding yourself, that much you will be able to respect others. Without understanding yourself, you cannot respect others. Therefore, respecting the needs and ambitions of others is the peak of knowledge of human being. So, when you respect the needs and ambitions of others and restrict your activities accordingly, that is the wisdom, that is the spiritual aspect. So, we have to practice such introspection, knowing all about the mind. Mind cannot be understood or measured by any scientific instrument in the world. That should be understood only by the mind, no other instrument. The whole universal function, all secrets of the life. One side, the philosophers have given their knowledge. Other side, the scientists are giving experiments and experiences. But in between the philosophers and scientists, there is gap. What is the gap? Philosophers are able to understand the unified force, primordial state, which is said to be absolute, and the energy particle as a fraction of it, and the magnetic force, which is the spreading wave starting from the energy particle. These all are subjective phenomena. These all are understood only by revelation, not by invention. But these cannot be understood by any scientific instrument, because scientific instrument showing anything, how the instrument is affected by the force of other one. What is the friction between the instrument and the thing which is connected with it? That only you are measuring. That is the science. By volume, force, time, distance, you are measuring the functions. But where you will clip or contact the instrument with the mind, with the consciousness, with the unified force, there is no instrument. Therefore, always there is a gap between philosophers and scientists. For the life, the journey of consciousness, it is a natural road, potential, provided by nature. But on the road, there is a gap. We have to build a bridge over it for all people to travel. Philosophers have built 4 sections. Scientists have built 4 sections, but 3 sections are left. What is the 3 section? Philosophers have understood the existence and functions of the unified force and the energy particle and the magnetic force and the function of the consciousness. These all are not understood, so the gap remains for us. Ordinary person cannot understand. So until this gap are filled up, all people cannot understand the truth easily. So this gap makes all the chaos and disturbance in the life of mankind. But this can be fulfilled only by the meditation. When you do meditation, you are bringing your mind subtler and subtler, subtler and subtler, and reach the totality. There you become that experience becomes you are that. So that is to be understood by revelation. When you surrender the fractional consciousness to the totality starts shining in you. All information comes as intuition. That is revelation. Invention is you have some idea to function, you are putting your effort. There is some imagination or conditioning of the mind. It is not revelation. Revelation automatically comes when you become that itself teaches everything what you want. That is the revelation. If at all, you have to get it. You have to become that. Only by reducing the frequency of your mind, come to the static state and be there. And from there, from that experience, you start thinking. There you will get everything. When you understand that knowledge, that will teach all the knowledge of the universe. So, understanding mind is very important. For that, analysis of thought is the first process. With these words, I conclude my speech and wish all of you enlightenment of consciousness and satisfaction in life and enjoying peace and happiness.